Oh, well, hello, members of the league. This is your Western Division champion, Commissioner Michael Mostrom, with Matt Forte. We're just celebrating our Western Division championship right now over in the Mostrom Mikasa basement household. Enjoying our time, enjoying our lives. $50 richer, $40 richer, whatever, I don't remember. I have to look. Beating my brother in order to win the championship. Extremely happy. Still extremely excited from this morning. Yeah, just a great day. Great day overall. Oh, wait. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I decided to go for a quick run. I'm going to go ahead and dodge. Dip and dodge a little. Oh, there I go. Just like Matt Forte. Now you see him, now you don't. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're dealing with somebody of such great talent of Matt Forte. Oh, here we go. Here we go again. Oh, see ya. In and out. In and out. It just happens that way, guys. Wanted to give you a little bit of recap on what has happened, what we've gone through, what kind of situations we're looking at within the league. I know Eric did a heck of a job going through all the breakdowns of who, what, when, where, why, how, the possibilities of nearly every position. So I don't really have to do so much of that to repeat. I will go through a little bit of a recap of what happened this past few days. Obviously an exciting Monday night, equally as exciting Sunday for myself, and this week looks like it's going to be a big exciting week for everybody at the same, well, not everybody, for some more than others, but really most games do have some sort of implication. We will go ahead and start with a recap of the week, and probably this is my closest game of the year, one of the closest games of the total year, though, in general. Myself, Forte Yardash, sneaking by Duke for my 6th straight W. Yes, Doug, that's 6, not 5. Thanks to Colin Kaepernick, 12 points, picked him up, started him over Matt Ryan. That was the difference in the game for me, even though he threw touchdown pass after touchdown pass. Anquan Bolden bombs down to Davis. Didn't even matter. Did not matter this time around, because every time they were scoring, I was scoring. And all I needed was Pierre Garçon to show up a little bit. He did it. As a result, I got the win. I have a tough matchup coming up with Scott. Derek has Pierce Brosnan, a.k.a. Dustin, coming up. So, again, future games coming up that are big. But back to this past week. You know, Derek had one of the best weeks he's had all year. In fact, he had the second highest score of the week. Next to yours truly. It still was not enough. Ray Rice continues to be a disappointment for him. Andre Johnson knew he was going up against his former owner, myself. Did not matter. He didn't come to play with only 5. San Antonio Holmes only 2. Those are the 3 big players that hurt him overall. He did get a lot of help from Bolden and Brady, as I talked about earlier, just not enough. I did have 2 people in single digits. I tried to get everybody in double digits. Unfortunately, VJ didn't do it for me. JB also didn't do it for me. But it is what it is. I put up 152, most points in the league for the week. Just a solid overall outing by everybody. Actually, something that was kind of neat is Derek finished with 9 touchdowns in the day, and I only had 5, according to our players. Yeah, I still walked away with the victory. It's not all about touchdowns, guys. It doesn't matter. If you get catches, you get yards, it makes a difference. In the next game, actually this game was closer than my game. We had Andy over Jared. Jared had one again, hit one of his best weeks that he's had, even though he's lost his 5th straight game. Andy got back on the winning track with a win this week, after lost yours truly last week. He does go undefeated in the divisional series, 2-0. Helps him out a little bit. Divisional record, it doesn't make a difference because his division is horrible this year. Hopefully next year he has a little bit more of a challenge. He can take a few members. Mainly one from this same team that I'm wearing, Chicago Bears. Brandon Marshall, nearly 28 points. Without a game like that for Marshall, he doesn't win. The other side of things, he can also thank Bears defense, as Tavon Austin had 18.5 points, thanks a large part to a 65-yard run on a horrible reverse whippity-doo play. It doesn't even matter. Those 2 players combined scored 46 points. Big portion of his games overall. Big portion of his win overall. My apologies. He continues to have a few players struggling. Tony Gonzalez has not been himself the last few weeks. Don't really like looking at him going into the playoffs. Lamar Miller limping around as well. Miles Austin is completely worthless. Any team that starts Miles Austin will not win the Chris Bowl, a.k.a. the Chris Trophy, a.k.a. your mother's trophy, a.k.a. I know we're not going to call that, but you don't have a chance at winning the bowl. The other side of things, Jared, Kendall Wright, Phillip Rivers, both put up huge games. I thought Kendall Wright was going to single-handedly bring him the win if it wasn't for a couple last-minute plays. Torrey Smith, Keenan Allen, that combo for him put up over 30 in his most recent trade. Keenan Allen, I'm really kind of regretting trading him right now, to be honest with you. So, it is what it is, though. I had to do what I had to do, and he did what he did, and as a result, I think both teams are better. Nonetheless, Andy with a victory. Nice work, sir. Wrapping up. I think that pretty much wraps up the number 1 seed for the most part. I'm not sure. Eric went over that. In the game that probably had some of the most meaning overall, Doug, the Prodigy, over Dutch Oven. And actually, I have a little section I want to go ahead and go to. Oh, hey guys, it's Doug. I just wanted to go ahead and talk about my game that I just had for a little bit. You know, I didn't do a great job overall, but I got the victory. I really don't like showing emotion, though, so I'm just going to stand here and smile a little bit. Nonetheless, my team won, no thanks to RG3 or Alfred Morris, as they didn't show up at all on Monday night. However, because the Dutch Oven threw out a few players like Andre Roberts, Kenny Stills, David Akers, Hull played horrible, Jordan Cameron, who hasn't lived up to his expectations the past few weeks, and T.Y. Hilton, who is losing catches to a guy named Brazil, I was able to come out with a victory. Eddie Lacy and Mike Wallace put up a combined 60 points, and Rob Gronkowski put up another 22. So 3 of my players put up over half of my points. And again, I didn't get any help from anybody else. But, as a matter of fact, I did an okay job, so I'm going to smile. Oh, hey guys, it's me. I'm back again. In all seriousness though, this was actually a pretty big game. Doug with the victory, definitely stayed in the playoff hunt. Scott with the loss fell out of the chance for a divisional title, and possibly out of the playoff hunt as well. So, big game. Prodigy won. I think I called that one. I called actually that one. I called my own, and the Fisters as well. So 3-0 so far for the week. Which brings me to the Rectal Renegades. Oh, my screen froze. And I'm back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Rectal Renegades brings down Pierce Brosnan, tacks on his 3rd consecutive win, while Dustin goes down and takes a loss. I believe 2 of Dustin's 3 losses were to Jason, so Jason definitely has his number. Not a great week for either one of them, but Jason did enough to do the job. He even won with 1 less player playing as he started Akeem Nicks. Thank you, co-commish Eric. Gave him some bad advice, and as a result, he could have had more points, but still won. Aaron Dobson also put up a 0, so he had 2 people with 0s and still won, largely in part to MJD, who has now scored a rushing touchdown in each of his last 3 games. Jimmy Graham, 21 points, Witten nearly 20. A great tight end combo going on if you can put up 40 points between those guys. Andre Brown with 20. Andre Brown's coming on at just the right time for Jason. Scoring some big points the last few weeks. As long as he stays healthy, in these upcoming weeks, he could be a playoff changer for Jason. So we look at Dustin's squad. He was over at my house watching the game, and he adamantly was talking about how his players did not come to play. Well, and they didn't. Besides Breeze Moreno and Emmanuel Sanders, every other player in his team put up single-digit points. Frank Gore couldn't do it last night against a porous Washington defense. Victor Cruz, just a shadow of his once self in the past with 2.7 points. Dan Bailey himself outscored Frank Gore and Victor Cruz combined. Fun fact of the day for Dustin's team. As a result, that really tightens everything up in the division, and Eric already went over those scenarios, so I'm not going to do that. In the 5th game, I I love Mike Ditka. Oh gosh, it hurts me to wear a Bears jersey and look at a team named I Love Mike Ditka put up 37.98 points. He had a whole 4 people playing, and one of his players put up negative points. I'm not even going to discuss I Love Mike Ditka's team. I don't even want to acknowledge it, other than the fact that there is a very good chance he will have the #1 pick in the following draft because of the lottery selection, having the most ping pong balls. Derek Lehman, I believe. Nope, there was another $10 I think he owed this week as a result. So his total is up to $50. Janikowski put up 20 points for him. Alex Smith, 27. The thing is if Derek actually paid a little bit of attention to this league, he would probably do a good job. He would probably beat Eric next week if he started his right players. The only thing that's hurt him, the biggest thing that's hurt him, is Aaron Rodgers is hurt. If he can get around that, I mean, Michael Floyd's playing good. Fleener's playing well. Amendola's back and forth. AP's AP. Alex Smith, as I just mentioned, about 28. He has some talent on his team. He can make a little bit of a run if he decided to pay attention. That'll be interesting to see. And in our final game, speaking of Eric and his vinegar strokes, he was powered by performance of Josh Gordon to go ahead and take the victory this week. If you take away just Josh Gordon's points, he loses this game. Even though he won by, nearly 38 points. Josh Gordon was a man among men. Just ridiculous. 237 receiving yards and a touchdown. I think he had like 11 or 12 catches in between there. I don't even know. Great game, though, from Josh Gordon. Eric should be a little bit worried. #1, McFadden, I believe, is coming back this week, so Jennings will be back in a timeshare. Ellington still hasn't proved anything. Decker's in a huge slump right now. DeAndre Hopkins does not have a quarterback that's getting him the ball whatsoever. Antonio Gates looks like he's 97 years old whenever he runs a route. And who really starts Rob Hausler on their team? I'm worried if I'm the Vinegar Strokes. Getting over to Mike's team, yeah. He had 2 players that scored under 1 point. Donald Brown, Kenny Brett, Mark Ingram, 3.2. You know, Larry Fitz is doing the job for him. Pettigrew had a decent game. I believe he had another tight end on his bench that scored a touchdown. Just a team of tight ends is what it comes down to. Oh, Jared Cook. Jared Cook played a good game. Nonetheless, no matter what kind of lineup Mike threw out there, he wasn't going to win this week. He's kind of playing for the I have his lottery pick this year. Well, I guess he's just hoping that I continue to... No, I don't lose either. Well, Mike just likes to talk trash at this point, so I'm all in for that. Congratulations, Mike. All right, guys. Just to do a little rundown of where we are. I think we know where we are and everything. Playoff-wise, just so you know, when you go on the league page and you click on the playoff bracket, it only initially lets me separate by 1 and 2 categories as far as the tiebreakers. So as you know, head-to-head is within the division. That's how it's set up within the league, so that's not an issue. However, it does not let me do a separate category for any sort of wild card type tiebreakers. So remember, that is by points. Douglas, you are officially not in the playoffs, even though it shows you're in the playoffs. If that's a problem, it does let me manually change that, just so you know. But it does look like, for the most part, you know, Andy's going to end up with a bye. Dustin or Jason's going to end up with a bye, which absolutely stinks for myself, because I'm going to end up probably playing the next best team, I would say, possibly. I mean, it could be Scott, which has scored the second most points in the league. Doug, who's on fire right now. I'm kind of ruined to play Eric. I'm going to be honest with you. Eric has a pretty bad team. Yep, you can put that as bulletin board material, Mr. Helmholt. So that's where we are, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this a little bit. Put a little bit of effort into it for once. Had the time, had the abilities. And we will be checking in with you in a couple days for my picks. I believe I got every game right again. I mean, these are gimmies now at this point. So I believe my record's like, I don't know, probably 750. 750.750 overall, which my record is close to that, and actually the league too. I run it. Peace.